Hey guys, Demi here from Atlas Vibrations, and I am here with your full moon and Scorpio collective update. You guys have heard me talk about Scorpio energy on Like My Glasses Are Crooked multiple times, and I personally believe, once again, that Scorpio energy is masculine and feminine. I believe it's both because it has like some duality to it, just like every other sign. But I personally believe that this sign is all about creation. It is all about the darkness. It is all about death, rebirth, transformation, new cycles, new beginnings, endings. It's a very passionate and deep, intense, emotional sign. So, first things first, though, the biggest part of this full moon is going to be change. Like, full hands down change. You guys are seeing change in your everyday realities. And it's tough because its opposite sign is going to be Taurus, and that's all about things, material, money, dedication, hard work, peace, tranquility. So its opposite and its complementary sign is going to be, I'm like, I can't even sit up, like my back's killing me. Sorry guys, but is that opposite of death, chaos, turmoil to an extent. I hate to say it like that, but change, which, Tauruses don't like change. They're very comfortable signs. So the uncomfortable, right? And so massive changes that we're like kind of leaning off of the eclipse with this. That's the biggest thing that Spirit wants us to know is we are feeling massive change. We're going through massive change. It's transformational, and it feels like a new foundation is being rebuilt. And it's almost like a tower moment in tarot where we wipe the slate clean and we start over. And what the most important part to remember is we have to remember what Scorpio energy is at the end of all of this, because we are really taught by in society that death and this feminine energy, it's hard to accept. We're not used to embodying emotions deeply. A lot of people don't understand emotions at this capacity, at this level, and don't understand why things just can't be the same and stay the way they are. And trust me, I have been doing a lot of work on this because my North Node is in Taurus in the 8th house with a North Node in Scorpio in the 2nd house. So I completely understand the dynamics which is happening, and so death has been a very big part of my life to understand and learn in this lifetime, and creating and learning from that own chaos and that stability and the deep emotion and going on those things. And so light wise, in regards to Scorpio energy, once again, this energy is very passionate. It is very loving, and I will say, because the sign before it is Cancer, so that's the motherly energy. And I believe, as you guys know, that each sign matures as it goes through into the next in the zodiac wheel. So we get Scorpio in between Pisces and Cancer. So this is where we begin to learn our own emotions. We separate from the mother and the motherly energy that we understand and should embody and understand very well. And Scorpio drives our own emotions. So I've also known that, like, Scorpios, they do really like to learn. They love to learn, and which doesn't, not a coincidence, is before Sagittarius, but they love to learn. It's experience. It's a mature sign in the sense of knowing when to leave the party, knowing when to embody change, embodying that deeper energy and understanding the emotions, and not, how do I say, taking action on those emotions, if that makes sense. Dark aspects are going to be control, anger, jealousy, being manipulative. And the light energy, because I forgot to say, is also about flow. Moving in that flow. Moving in flow with water. And the key thing, too, that I was told while channeling this through was water sometimes, like the ocean, it moves in its own waves and it comes and it crashes down, and sometimes there isn't control, and we don't like that. So this sign is also controlling in that aspect, because this is like ultimate flow. This is ultimate creation. This is the sign that is ruled by the genitals. It's about taking and creating and kind of coming from nothing. And we're seeing a lot of triggers that are part of us that need to heal. And I'm having a hard time explaining it, because it's like I can't put into words this deep like feeling that I'm getting. I can only verbally say it to an extent, and it's very healing, because whatever is triggering us from others, whether it's they're not looking at us in a way that we want to be seen, we're not getting the recognition that we want, they're not making you feel like you're enough, like those are the kinds of things that are being triggered, and this is what's coming up. So when you're seeing these feelings of anger, frustration, trying to control the situation and trying to hold on to things that are leaving your life, it's just going to create more pain. And today we were kind of lucky, and some of you are going to be like, oh geez, we had a nice little guest speaker. As I was channeling through, I said, who wants to come in today to kind of give me some information on this full moon? And we got Lucifer from the Bible. And I was like thinking of Lucifer from Cinderella, the cat. Oh, and then who was it? I forget the name. Was it Jack? I don't remember, but he was like, Lucifer mean. Like that I was like, oh no. But something that really embodies that Lucifer wanted us to know was the poison apple and sin. About Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. How about temptation, and so we'll get into it a little bit, but not necessarily, but like about Snow White, because it's too much to break down and I don't have enough time from all the information that they gave me, because I felt a masculine energy, but I also felt like it could be feminine. So it's, once again, it kind of gave me some confirmation on the things that I knew. And so death, right? Here's your circle, and here's the point where we come back in the circle of the cycle. Death is the starting point. And so it is that sliver of the in-between of us realizing we need to make change to start in a new beginning. Something has to leave to either make space. Something needs to change in order for us to move forward. And so Lucifer said temptation, stride, and willingness to resist what is best for us as humans. This is all about us and our human forms, okay? We're not going to talk about anything past the other realms, right? So they said in Bible and Catholicism, Eve knew she should not take from the tree of life. And this, for those of you guys that like folklore, I will say, and this was in Lemuria. And it's very interesting to see, because there was a tree of life that used to give all this different life, and around the area when, let's go back to like 5th grade, Pangea was existing and all the continents were together and they weren't so shifted. There was a tree that was in the center of Pangea, or of this place, and then as it spread and like all the tectonic plates and the shifting, but there was one tree, and this is where some of these stories came from, to kind of give us the symbolism of what our true human roots and ancestry is from back in the day. And so the tree of life in Lemuria, that the flaws of sin and death was always a part of human nature. It wasn't something that the devil did to tempt. And so what Lucifer wanted us to know is that no one is ever exempt from change within the universe due to the laws that we live in within the universe. Like, everything comes to an end, cycles, we die, things die in our lives. But we make a part in that choice when it comes to death and certain deaths in our lives. It's a catalyst that sparks us through our own existence and human design. And this is how we learn. This is the part of Scorpio that we don't, like, that he or she says that we don't understand, is this is how we learn. We learn through death. We grow through death. And think about all of the times that you had an ending of some sort. Abrupt ending, whether it was a tower moment or not, whether somebody passed away, whether a part of you died, or a relationship suddenly ended. And death is always a part of life. We can't always run from it. But sometimes what Lucifer was trying to say, it's not always just fate. It's always us and our decisions and how we go about things, that we need to take responsibility in some of our own and accountability in death. But temptation, they say, is sin, but the feeling within is what causes endings, it's that feeling within when we're ready to kind of go and what we need to do. Like, we do have a choice in death. We do. We have a choice in a lot of things, and even though it might not be a part of the soul contract, but when the soul leaves, but we still have a say in whether or not, because of free will, free choice, if we want to leave this earth sooner than our contract is done. Or, in my cases, and sometimes I accidentally manifested it, but it's really different with death. And death does not judge. And it's that middleman of life, new beginnings, and judgment, the card of judgment, where we realize all of those things. We realize all the things that needed to self-destruct. And in the astrology chart, Pluto, it's kind of like, I was told, a slow burn. And it is. It's very much a very slow change with a different foundation. And this is what we're seeing. And the human experience obviously is about us, who we are as humans, ourselves, no one else within our body, skin suits, and our soul. And we need to have this willingness, Lucifer says, to feel and succumb to the experience and embody the process of creation. And understanding that nothing lasts forever. Even within the process of butterflies and how they grow and do rebirth and things, there's always some kind of form of a tiny death to get to a bigger spot. And it's a huge transformation. It feels so empowering, disheartening, tough, but it's completely to be rebuilt from from bottom up. And this is what we're seeing, right? Complete rebuilding from a new foundation from the bottom up. And so physically what we're seeing, because I don't think I'm gonna have time to pull cards today, so I'll just go over this. Completions, physical completions, and with this new moon, like letting go, sexual preferences, it rules. Scorpio rules the genitals, so you're seeing changes in your sex lives, what you don't like about sex, what you need with sex, what you have any kind of preference in sex. Money, others' money, debts, loans, money from parents and spouse. So maybe, and I'm seeing a lot on the news, there's a lot of people dying, like lots of people. Like, I go through AOL and other things, like just seeing on headlines, there's been a lot of deaths recently. So coming to an end. General things that just need to end. There's feelings of things that are coming up there, like that just needs to leave. Goodbye. Emotions, realizing that you are an emotional person, understanding that deep emotion, and also understanding taboo things, so things that are a part of you that you are not restricting anymore. So whether you're not taking from another group or religion or society of how it is that you should and should not be. I always recommend looking up in your chart which area this is happening in. So for example, this is happening in my area of, like I said, second house. So material things. I'm realizing there's ways of money, of how I make money, that are coming to a cycle of completion for a new beginning. There's changes that I've needed to make within my relationships, which is coming from, the eclipse, but endings in that, and honoring that, honoring death, honoring the fact that this is ending, and not resisting or trying to control. So you're also seeing completions when it comes to controlling people, not being able to move and flow, controlling situations where you feel restricted, where you need to once again go through and walk through the fire to come out and go through these situations and understand to be completely rebuilt in any area of your life. Okay, so I hope that this resonated with you. Please share it for those that are needing guidance of this time. And until next time, namaste.